The WAZA Tube Amp Expander Core unleashes the full potential of your tube amplifier. Filled with incredible features in a desktop-friendly package, it's perfect for players that want to crank up their amp and dial back the volume. You can enjoy all the tonal magic of your valve amplifier without compromise. During the 50s and 60s, tube amps became synonymous with the golden age of rock and roll, delivering warm and harmonically rich distortion when cranked to higher volumes. Power soaks, or load boxes, allow players to crank their amps up and then send a dramatically lowered signal out to the speaker. The issue with those solutions is that they tend to interfere with dynamics and responsiveness, because they remove the interaction between the amp and the speaker load. Fast forward to today, modelling and digital amps have bridged the gap somewhat, but many guitarists still prefer to use a tube amp. That's where the Boss WAZA Tube Amp Expander Core comes in. The WAZA Tube Amp Expander Core packs pro-level functionality into a portable enclosure, giving your tube amp a new lease of life. Unlike most regular load boxes, it uses a reactive load system that mimics different speaker loads and their natural response. You can crank a tube amp to its sweet spot while keeping the volume at a reasonable level. A critical tool for both home practice and live performances at smaller venues. It works by absorbing some of the amp's power and dissipating it as heat, allowing players to push their tube amps and achieve rich, overdriven sounds. Unlike alternative products, the WAZA Tube Amp Expander Core has a seamless attenuation dial, inherited from its big brother, the WAZA Tube Amp Expander. Sometimes a predetermined selection isn't always suitable for your playing environment. You may find the amp too quiet or too loud between dial positions. A reactive drive power amp section, backed by Boss's acclaimed Tube Logic approach, achieves seamless volume attenuation, allowing players to experiment freely with attenuation best suited to their setup. The Mix Assist function optimizes your guitar sound for recording. If you were to hear a soloed guitar part on a professional recording, it would have a surprising amount of EQ applied. Only the important frequencies would remain to prevent a boxy and problematic mix. There would be less interference between the tracks. Also, when in the mastering phase, a guitar track recorded with Mix Assist can solve issues with too much low or high frequencies in the mix. The Mix Assist function is also a great way to quickly provide a mix-friendly signal to the front of house engineer at a gig or a live stream, for example. In addition, you can subtly enhance or soften the contour of the transient in your guitar signal. The transient is a momentary element in the initial attack of the sound, the moment a plectrum hits a string, for example. Close mic settings capture more transient, and sometimes that can be too much in a mix. Hearing your guitar sound through headphones or studio monitors is sometimes necessary. Unfortunately, this lacks the depth and presence of hearing a real amp with you in the room. The immersive air-feel function creates natural sounding ambience and dimension, and the feel of moving air that's lost. You can apply this to the line-out, phones and USB, and you can quickly tweak the amount from the front panel of the unit or from the software editor. The WAZA Tube Amp Expander Core has 5 selectable mic types, with the ability to mix 2 selections together. On the editor, you can easily tweak mic type, placement, and the level, also visually represented in the app. You won't get any phase shift or unnecessary interaction between each mic. You just get ideal dual mic settings. There are 22 cabinet emulations and selected Celestion digital IRs. In addition, there are 64 user slots supporting mono and stereo WAV files with up to 500 milliseconds in length at 32-bit 96 kHz. The IR loader is integrated into the editor and is easy to manage. Plus, when you load 2 IRs, you can tweak the time alignment with the editor. Adjusting the timing between the 2 IRs helps to achieve the best possible result of the combination. The WAZA Tube Amp Expander Core even comes with built-in effects and EQ sculpting to further shape your perfect amp sound. These effects include compression, reverb, delay, and parametric graphic EQ. You can hear an analog delay with reverb on this example. On the front of the unit, you have several dials for quick access to functions, including 10 different rig presets, the amount of air feel, and the volume of the guitar speaker, line out, and headphones. On the back, you have an external effects loop with series and parallel operation, reliable balanced XLR stereo line outputs, USB-C for recording straight into your DAW and controlling parameters via the editor, MIDI input for switching rig settings or the activation of effects, and the optional BT Dual Bluetooth adapter for control from your smartphone. To truly benefit from the power of tube amps, the amp needs to be pushed. With the WAZA Tube Expander Core, you can do so while maintaining a usable volume. This compact version offers many of the same incredible features as the original Tube Amp Expander in a smaller, desktop-friendly package. Crank up your favourite tube amp with the WAZA Tube Amp Expander Core and make it usable at home, in the studio, and on the stage. To find out more, go to boss.info.